I literally just consider you guys as like my besties. Like I'm just sitting down thinking out loud here, telling you how I feel. There was two pulling. There was pulling. I looked at the mirror for 2 seconds. There was a lot of pulling. Don't be filming this one. I'll learn this. It'll take some time. Excuse me. When I say it's cold, it's cold. Don't embarrass, I'm the only woman here. Every man in here's like, who's this bitch? Like, I'm like, lovely. Good morning. It's cold. I am just getting ready to head to the gym. I am going to film my favorite booty workouts for you guys today. I've got so many that I love, but I've been able to narrow it down for you guys, like for my go-to booty exercises. I feel like, especially on social media, Instagram, everything, you see so many complex leg exercises, but I did want to show you guys my favorite booty exercises that are also the most effective for building your glutes. Anyway, I am really excited to film this video because I love a good booty pump, and today it's just gonna be all about a booty pump. Look, I am gonna get straight into it because I'm an Australian and it's going into winter and I can't deal at the moment, so I'm freezing. I am going to have some pre-workout, obviously, as you guys know, Oxy Shred. This is their new flavour actually, so this is... You're right, oh Jesus! This one is cotton candy. Literally, I am so obsessed with this flavour. I think as well because I'm in a deficit, it's kind of like a really nice, sweet treat, I guess. I'll just have 2 scoops because it is #leg day. Joel always hides the friggin' scoops on me, I'm over it. Like I said, this is an essential for when I'm just training, and it's so good within my fat loss phase. Not only is it a fat burner, but it just gives me that extra energy that I need. I did want to let you guys know that EHP are currently doing this deal at the moment, where if you buy 1 Oxy Shred and 1 Pride, you actually get a free case of the Oxy Shred Energy cans, which is so amazing. Or you can do the get 1 Pride, get an Oxy Shred, and you get like a percentage off the package together, and you can also use my code amongst both of them. That gives you 10% off. So I'm just gonna have some of this. That wasn't me, by the way. That guy in there looks like Chris Hemsworth. It's in there. He does, but like, just like a different version of Chris. I'll be doing a mix of voiceovers within this video because I didn't love the audio that we did this day, but this is trap bar deadlift. So this is definitely one of my favorite exercises and variations when it comes down to the deadlift. There are many reasons why I love the trap bar and why I like to program this, especially for beginners. This can help you create proper positioning and form to then work up to your normal standard barbell, conventional deadlift, or sumo deadlift, whatever you like to do. But I honestly prefer the trap bar over them all, just for the sheer fact that I feel it so much more in my legs. I find personally my lower back does tend to take over when I'm using just your normal standard bars equivalent to the trap bar. Like your standard deadlift, you do want to be keeping your foot stance in line with your hip, and there are somewhat 2 levels to the trap bar, so variations you can hold your hand. The higher bar gives you less range of movement and the lower bar gives you more range of movement. So if you do want to make it harder, you just hold the bars beneath the ones that I'm holding. Ladies, if you are wanting to grow your glutes, make sure you're programming hip thrusts in your workouts. I'm actually going to show you 3 of my favorite variations. Firstly, some key points to get the most out of your hip thrust. First, you want to be making sure that your bench isn't too high. This is a common issue I do actually see, and this is where you feel it more in your lower back, equivalent to your glutes, and I just feel as though you're able to feel more stable and confident holding the bar and squeezing it in your glutes when you have a correct level bench. You want your feet stance in line with your hip, and I also find that slightly pointing out your toes helps target your glutes that little bit more. Also, as you can see, when the bar is lifted, I'm somewhat pushing the bar away from me, pushing it towards my glutes with an overhand grip. And lastly, the hip thrust is all in the hips. You do not want to be hyperextending within your back. You should not be using your back at all. It is literally all within the hip movement. Dead stop hip thrust is your standard hip thrust. This is usually done when you are trying to hit a PB or you're going heavier weight. It's when the weight somewhat stop at the floor for a few seconds and then you will lift up. 1 1/4 hip thrust, so you'll be doing a full rep and then somewhat a pulse. I personally love these ones and I actually program these ones more than your standard hip thrust. tiny woman here. Ha! Okay, so next, love these. Every man in here's like, who's this bitch? Like, I'm like, love these. Curtsy lunges. So the only thing with these is what I find people do, they kind of take it legitimately. So they're curtsying all the way over here. So you actually just want leg that you're moving to just go directly behind your elevated leg. This one is elevated forward lunges. Again, if it's too elevated, I feel it a little bit too much in my quads. You just want it to be slightly elevated. And what I find a lot of people do with this exercise is they're kind of just going up, down. It's a forward lunge, so you actually want to be leaning in to your leg, knee over toe. Hey, how are we? Through my many years of training, what I really have figured out when it does come down to training glutes, it's one, finding exercises that you do love that are effective, and two, not thinking you need to go crazy heavy. That's something that I definitely did in the past, was ego lift. And it wasn't until I started to pull back on the weight, really correct my form, focusing on that mind to muscle connection. And like I said, like perfecting little areas. Before I increase my weight, I'd ask myself, can my tempo get better? Can my form get better? Can my range of movement, my depth, all these other things, I would ask myself if they could get better. Even just tiny little things like pushing out my knees or my foot placement. So yeah, that is definitely my number one tip when training legs, is don't think you need to be focusing on going extremely heavy. It's form over everything. I can't hear you, darling. I've got headphones in. Good. Nah, there was two pulling. There was pulling. I looked at the mirror for 2 seconds. There was a lot of pulling. I'm documenting this because Joel vacuumed. I'm so proud of you, honey. So I am at 19 weeks out. This is kind of when my nerves are starting to kick in and everything's starting to get real. Like, I've purchased my posing heels, I have my posing classes, I'm having daily check-ins with my coach. I'm just feeling so many emotions right now. And overall, I've loved this experience so much. Like, I've learned so much about me, I've learned so much about competing, food, building, all of that. And I feel as though as well I'm having so much doubt in myself, which obviously isn't good. Not doubt in me as a person, just doubt jumping on stage. I definitely do feel as though I know I have rushed into this competition. Like, last year was probably my first solid build that I've ever really done, like my solid one for an entire year. And personally, I know that I need at least another year of building before I can make it on stage. So yeah, these are just all these emotions that are going through my head. Like, I do wish I maybe was a bit more patient and spent another year building. Obviously after this summer, I am no matter what gonna start building, because even just trying it out these last few months, I know this is something that I'm so passionate about. Like, I just love the conditioning, I love posing, like I love, you know, tracking my macros and training with a goal and training with a purpose. I love all of this stuff. It's just whether I'm ready to jump on stage. And I'm like every other girl, I want to win a place. And it is really hard in a sense where I know I'm not ready. And although I want to do it for the experience, I want to do it to actually get my name out there in the WBF world and just basically just jump on stage. But I'm also a competitive girl who is in the comp prep world, and I do want to make a place. So it is really hard. Like, I am at this place where I'm still kind of umming and ahhing if I want to be jumping on stage in October. Like, as you guys know, I am in my shred period, and I'm just basically going off how I look within the next few weeks during my shred, because I definitely do not want to be jumping on stage if I feel too small and B, I don't want to continue shredding if I feel too small. My number one thing in life is to feel strong and to feel powerful, and I definitely don't want to be jumping on this stage and looking depleted and looking small. So that is another huge contributor in why I've just been umming and ahhing for so long. Like, not only will I be jumping on stage, but that'll be my physique, and I don't want that. It's something that I've had for so many years, and I just strive to be the strongest, womanliest, thickest version of myself, basically. And I love that. You know, this is why I've been so drawn into the comp prep world. And although I definitely have been comparing myself to those who've been doing it for years, which is so hard not to do, like it's literally inevitable. But I've been using it more as drive and to really train to be the best version of myself and to know who my competitors are and what I'm up against, and whether or not I need to be spending another year building. I know a lot of you will say it is for the experience, but like jumping on stage, it's expensive, it's definitely not cheap, and months and months of your life are dedicated to it. And I personally don't know if I want to be doing all of this and knowing that I won't feel my confident self on stage, because I know I could be jumping on stage with more of me. Basically, that's literally what it is coming down to, is I don't feel as though I've built enough muscle to be jumping on stage, because I will be shredding for another 19 weeks, and obviously I'm not like losing a kilo every single week or anything like that. It's nothing dramatic. I'm, you know, playing around with maintenance. I'm going in a deficit, not to lose too much, but I will be losing more weight before I get onto stage, and it's just maybe something I'm not ready to do yet. Look, I'm honestly not too sure, but like I said, I have been loving this experience, and jumping on stage is something that I will be doing, whether it's this year, whether it's next year. It's something that I will be doing. I've definitely learned a lot within this experience, things that I will be doing differently. The only really one would be to drink less. So although I love my alcohol is like the number one thing that unfortunately interferes with muscle growth, and it's the only thing that I love. So that's hard, but that's definitely something that I'll be doing within my next build, just to make sure that I am putting my all in. Like, obviously I am with my calories, my training, my rest, my recovery, all of that. I just want to be knowing that when I am prepping for something, I'm giving it my all. I literally just consider you guys as like my besties. Like, I'm just sitting down thinking out loud here, telling you how I feel. Like, I am really up in the air about it. I have been really focusing on my practicing everything, but I just still have these thoughts deep down. Yeah, overall I'm feeling really good within my deficit, feeling good within my training. I'm actually planning to film a little what I eat in a day tomorrow for you guys, so stay tuned for that. If you did like this video, make sure you do give it a thumbs up. Before I go, I did want to let you guys know that this video is actually sponsored by Squarespace. So as you guys know, I've been using and working with Squarespace for years now. It is a website builder, so I have built all my websites with Squarespace. My project that I am working on will be done with Squarespace. See Active is done with Squarespace, my website's done with Squarespace, and I've done multiple friends' websites through Squarespace. I have built it because it is just so easy to use. It's easy to customize your own website. They have so many useful like add-on tools. They have your own emailing campaigns, and I just overall love it because of the aesthetics. So the certain themes that you get to choose from, whether you want to completely customize your own or you want to choose one of their examples that they have. They're really trendy, they're really nice, really crisp, really professional. And if you are someone who you do own your own business or you sell things online, it is just a non-negotiable to have a website, and a good website. And I feel as though starting with a good website builder, something that is simple, easy to use, is just so important. Not only is Squarespace super professional, but it's also just so customer friendly. I will leave my link on the screen, so that gives you 10% off your first domain purchase with Squarespace, and I will leave everything in the description below. I hope you guys did like this video and this workout was informative, and hope you enjoyed my little chat afterwards. I kind of needed that. I needed to vent with you guys, and it's been quite a while since I've just spoken to the camera and just spoke what I'm thinking and my emotions, so it was really good. Anyway guys, I'll see you within my next video. Bye.